But I guess we can address what also happened this week as far as Netflix on the Marvel Universe. Iron Fist was cast.
Yeah,
I heard about that too.
It's also the in my opinion, one of the dumbest casting controversies ever.
And why is that?
Because he's a white character who is cast as a white person, and people are mad about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good thing about it because, like I said, it is a controversy. People have different opinions about it. I am on the other side of the opinion about it, and I'll basically tell you my opinion why I don't agree with the controversy. And I kind of did wish they go the Asian American route with it. Basically, you can say that Iron Fist is kind of like a mighty whitey, great white hope, white savior type character. Just like Last Samurai, just like Dances with Wolves, like we talked about. 8 Mile, you can add that in there too. Basically, how it works is that you got a white guy that goes to a foreign country. He masters the entire culture in about a few weeks or a month's time, better than the people who actually live there. He takes the culture back with him that he's mastered in such a short time, and he shows how much he's a master of it, and he helps them better their culture too, just because he's so awesome and so great. Why couldn't they make him an Asian guy to begin with? It's simple. And I'm not talking about the Netflix. I'm not talking about the movie live action. I'm talking about 1972 in the comics when he should have been Asian to begin with. One thing, because they didn't think that an Asian guy was marketable. Yeah, you had Shang-Chi. Let's be honest. Nobody took Shang-Chi seriously. He was just a Bruce Lee copycat that they made just to semi-legally put him in the comic, and that was fine. As far as Iron Fist, they want to actually try to market him. They know if they made him Asian, you couldn't market him. It's the same thing as why they made David Carradine Kane and Kung Fu, getting an Asian character, an Asian actor to play the role because they know it wasn't marketable to do that. So what they're doing is that same white savior trope they had back in the 70s that they could have corrected, and they just did the same thing all over again.
Well, my understanding was that the character was, and now I'm no expert, I don't read his comics, so, if you guys know more about him than me, then I'll, definitely defer to your knowledge. But my understanding was that he was somebody that was a character who was like adopted and raised in, the Asian culture or whatever, and was a fish out of water, and then he came back to America or something like that. That was what I had heard about it, but again, I
right.
Really
he's an outsider. I get that he's an outsider.
Right, but I'm saying he didn't go to Japan and learn everything about Japan in a week. Like he was raised there, was my understanding.
And maybe that's the situation, but at the same time, okay, let's say he is an outsider, and let's say there is a huge part of his character arc. Wouldn't an Asian American that was growing up in America the entire time and only knows the American culture, growing up in a foreign land, would still be considered an outsider?
Sure, but I mean, the aspect of Iron Fist is that he's an amazing martial artist, right? And to me, it's more believable that someone would grow up in a more martial arts centric culture and become an amazing martial artist, as opposed to someone growing up a fish out of water in America and becoming an amazing martial artist. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be believable. Like, it's possible that they could have cast like an Asian actor who, like there was like an Asian baby adopted by a white family, but raised and taught martial arts and becomes, one of the greatest martial artists in the world and blah, blah, blah. I'd buy that, like that's fine. I'd still watch it. I would have no issue. I wouldn't complain about that at all. That wouldn't bug me. But at the same time, it also doesn't bug me that they're sticking, truer to the, what the race that the character was originally made as. If they had changed it, I'd be totally fine with it, and I'm still fine with it, leaving it the way it was.
Okay. Well, Eli, you have any thoughts on it?
Well, the guy was a white guy in the original comics, but back to what you said, that was back in the 70s when, they had comics to sell and, an audience to satisfy, and Asians,
and Eli, let's be honest. You've experienced this more. You being Native American, I know you've seen this a bunch of times. You had Johnny
Depp. Oh my God.
Tonto.
Yeah.
I mean, this happens.
Yeah. which I still haven't seen Lone Ranger yet either.
I won't watch that movie. I'm not.
17 Native Americans, so it's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think had they made him an Asian not an Asian actor, it might have been more relatable, especially now. I can see, they're being true to the comic, but the comic, like what you said, Leroy, it's kind of old fashioned, you know. That's what they've always done. I mean, even like Doctor Strange, you know, it's always the white guy that, you know, gets down with the darkies and then becomes the cooler one, the coolest one.
Oh,
you know, that's like it's that all the time. We keep seeing that. I mean, like Mount Everest, you know, the Tibet, you know, those monks have been climbing that thing for hundreds of years, but the first white guy that goes up there, now it's known as Mount Everest. You know?
Yeah. I always thought, speaking of, I know that